Rideshare and taxi drivers must take new training by April 1st. A new City of Edmonton bylaw will require rideshare and taxi drivers to take new mandatory training courses if they want to continue operating. So this is for the people who watch over there from Toronto. Toronto is definitely within the 5 top cities that watch my channel. So this is for you guys. And for you Americans who think this doesn't matter for you, it's always important to know what's happening in neighboring cities, because it's very common for cities to copy cities when they make laws. And this isn't something Uber wants. This is something the city of Edmonton wants. And I can see an overzealous government body, city council, putting this in New York. I can see them putting this in California. So this is something you want to pay attention to, because it'll show us the effects, right? It could be that rideshare drivers are like, nah, I'm not going to mess around with that training. And it might make it so that there's like more passengers for drivers. I don't know. We don't know. Let's read the story and find out. A training course needs to be completed through a dispatcher in charge of the drivers by April 1st, and a certificate of completion must be submitted to operate in the city legally. Confused? But let's continue. Lila, Director of Development, Approvals, and Inspections with the City of Edmonton, said the new training course is expected to take between 4 to 8 hours to complete and includes modules covering topics of accessibility, customer service, safety, and responsiveness, as well as the city's vehicle for hire bylaw. That sounds extremely annoying. However, I can understand why people need to do this based off of what I have seen from other drivers. Customer service is lacking. They don't have the training for it. And they ultimately just want to get in their car and drive, call people on their phones, talk very loudly, play music while there's just a lack of customer service. And I can see how this could benefit people. I personally would be annoyed because I feel like I wouldn't need it. And I can understand that even drivers who are worse than me would probably also feel like they don't need it. So I don't think Uber or the Uber drivers are happy about this. The new training was developed after a March 22 committee meeting in the Edmontons voiced their concerns with some of the challenges they were expecting. Things like assessing and using the vehicle for hiring service in Edmonton, and specifically for a lot of concern focused on safety and barriers for those with higher accessibility needs. Says it's redundant and time consuming. It's a classic municipal government red tape, making life more difficult for hardworking drivers. I agree. This is from a spokesperson from Uber. Sometimes I agree with them. Sometimes joining with Uber to fight certain things, it's okay, guys. I know we have disdain for them. I know they are cheating us out of money, but sometimes, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. She said it's a big hassle for drivers spending a full workday getting a redundant training time they could be spending on the road. Rank says the city's new training takes 8 hours to complete, twice as long as any Canadian city, and includes information that is either redundant or outdated. Rideshare companies like Uber and Lyft have their own mandatory training modules, and Rank says the city's courses make you watch a long, old CBC video that doesn't reflect new features or updates. Oof. But that sounds exactly like the government. But I will say this, right? The more roadblocks there are between a driver and the driver making money, the more of an advantage the drivers who are willing to do it have. In certain cities, there are you have to register as a business to start doing Uber and Lyft. People who aren't willing to do that stuff, it keeps the driver pool low, versus in a city like mine, all you need is an inspection, right? If you have your inspection, you can go to Jiffy Lube and get it. You can become a driver. Now, in a city where you don't need an inspection, like Savannah, they're not going to do it. So for example, if someone in Savannah who doesn't need an inspection wants to come and drive to Charleston, they would then need an inspection in order to start driving here. Some people aren't going to do it, right? So it helps balance out the supply and demand of drivers. So I can see how this could be a roadblock that helps other drivers make a little bit more money, but nothing crazy. It doesn't seem like that much of a hassle. And I think that might be a problem where it's a roadblock that's just there for annoyance and nothing more. Rank said the city of Edmonton consulted with rideshare and taxi dispatchers before creating the training courses, but has seemingly ignored their concerns. It sounds like government. Peter, however, refutes some of these claims. She said the training will take between 4 to 8 hours, and drivers may not need more than 4 hours to complete the course if the material has been covered by a dispatcher's previous modules. She said the language and educational needs of drivers have been heavily factored into how we develop the training. While the city crafts the training, Peter says it's up to the dispatchers to deliver the training, either in person or online. in the manner that best serves their drivers. Here's the problem I'm having with a lot of government bodies. They're not even including drivers in these conversations. Like, you're including Uber, fine. Uber's a thing, sure. But why wouldn't you also speak to drivers? Like, I just don't understand it. They do that in Charleston too, and I just don't understand it. Pretty says it's up to the dispatcher. Drever just read that. All right, so we'll follow up with this. We'll see. I'm sure I'll be able to find drivers talking about this once it's implemented. And once we do, I'll relay that back to you guys. I need a huge favor from you guys. Double check to make sure that you're subscribed, and please give this video a like. As a thank you, here's a sneak peek into the next video that you should definitely watch. I need a huge favor from you guys. Double check to make sure that you're subscribed, and please give this video a like. As a thank you, here's a sneak peek into the next video that you should definitely watch. Let me show you the breakdown of what they're claiming she had to go through in an accident where her car was barely scratched. All right, so they're claiming $15,000 in money was spent between